What's up? This is Six Leaf Clover of Fire here, and welcome to Down the Ladder, episode 6. Yesterday's game was really good. I finally played a London system for you all that I won, instead of just completely getting destroyed with. So, because of that, if I play white, I'm going to play e4, hopefully get a Vienna Gambit. If not, if they play something like the Sicilian, I'll play the Grand Prix attack, and we'll just go from there. So, yeah, if I play as black, hopefully I can play the King's Indian defense. That'd be a lot of fun. And at some point, I think I'm going to figure out how to connect my ChessNut to my actual tower so that I can record my screen and also use ChessNut to play instead. That'd be a lot of fun. Alright, but without further ado, first let's talk briefly about yesterday's game. Let me actually click through it again real quick, just to refresh my memory. So I got a London, decided not to play h3, played c4 quickly. I decided to trade off those light squared bishops, which was inaccurate. Again, please, if anybody knows why, let me know. I was able to get a pawn into c5, which actually helped me in the long run, I think. Even though it was technically a miss. And I ended up winning a pawn because of this, removing the defender. I was able to win another pawn and created a really nice pawn structure. Created that open A file and won. Okay, so that's a recap of yesterday, what I learned. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, and to play e4, hopefully they'll play e5, perfect. Get a Vienna Gambit. They want to mirror me, it's fine. Okay, this is almost like a Trempowski, but not quite. So I think in this situation, I'd be more than happy to win their bishop here. So let's just attack that pawn. Capture back. Okay. Hasn't this just dropped the pawn here? What am I missing? Oh, not really. Because that's clever. Take, take, take. You know what? I think there are ideas here. Actually. Yeah, exactly. Take back. Now he takes. Okay, so instead of taking here, they do that. Now, I wonder if I could just anchor my knight. Seems kind of weird. That's probably a strat. How do I keep my lead? Something like that doesn't look right. Okay, I think the best move probably would have been that. Kicking. Okay. I'm trying to think. I feel like there might be some weird strats going on. Well, wait a second. Here, hitting the king. Block. It doesn't work because of this knight. Never mind. But if take, then getting a fork. But again, the knight prevents that. So I think just coming back. Oh, wait a second. It doesn't work. Yeah. Shoot. Okay. that sucks. So they end up winning back their pawn, but that's not the end of the world. I'm probably gonna end up castling kingside. Alright, queenside, I mean. Pawn's hanging, actually. But I don't want to take it because discover checks. So first, I go here, hit this. I already checked to make sure the knight doesn't have any moves that are too annoying. Okay, they castle. Very interesting game. I'm probably messed up, but at the same time, I think it's okay. You want to hit like that because there's no knight here. I'll castle first. Already checked certain squares. Huh. I also just realized that, but now I can't really capitalize on it. I don't like that. Oh, better. I don't like here. Just because of a potential fork. I don't even know what I was saying. There's my king's not here, so. Position's cramped. I don't like my position that much. Knight's annoying. Hmm. Don't work. That just drops a knight. It's weird. Very awkward for me. That is almost hanging. So I think this just drops a bishop. Shoot. I'm using way too much time right now. Let's try to get rid of this knight. Once and for all. Okay, anchors. But now the thing is that I won this pawn. There we go. So that's nice. I pick up a pawn again. Again, I'm not saying I've been playing the best. That's a strong. Oh. Okay, tactics. I can fortify that square somehow. But then again I can just grab another pawn. Yeah, they're not gonna want to give that up. So something like here. Because I can always grab this in a second. But I feel like that might be hope chess. I'm gonna go for it. I can always grab that pawn. Knight. I mean, that rook can't really slide over or anything. We're just over. I want to think. Make sure I know what my opponent's doing. I don't understand that move. I'm just gonna win the queen. This should be really good for me. My opponent has a lot more time, but I just want a queen. At least that's what it looks like to me. This is water. Lemonade flavored water. I feel like I'm drinking a completely different drink each time. Okay, so my opponent probably should have played King H8. That was kind of hope chess, but not really. That doesn't work. They take with check. And, now, if that knight wasn't there, I would totally take that, and then just be up. Let's see. Instead of grabbing a pawn, let's pin. Pin the bishop. Just again, I could have grabbed this pawn, but I'm plus out. Yeah, exactly. But now this, I did surrender the file. Now I can grab the pawn here. I have an escape route. So this was a weird game. Also, ooh, I could have just played that. Never mind. I should not have taken this pawn. I should have played, yeah. I should have played G4 instead, but that's okay. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. I still have time to play G4. Unless my opponent moves their king, which they should. If they, yeah, okay. So now G4 just falls. I mean, the bishop just falls. Bishop falls. Fork. So these two are protecting each other. I love a good way. I love the way a bishop and pawn can protect each other. I think just putting more pressure. But yeah, I didn't see that. That breaks the pin, obviously. I only have 2 minutes, but I should be able to win this game. Breaking the pin. But it doesn't really help him, I don't think. Trying to get king away from these squares so I can pick up the knight. Even if I can't pick up the knight, I win that. There we go. So my opponent should not have dropped that knight. I'm not really calculating checkmate at this point. I am looking for checks. Checkmate's here. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, still not a checkmate. Just, I think, spending a lot of time. Let's just go here. Checkmate's coming. Going around the world here. Again, I almost have a minute left, so I'm trying not to do too many calculations. And then I have a dovetail mate, actually. I think that's That's a dovetail. Or a swallowtail. I don't remember. Is it a dovetail mate or a swallowtail mate, y'all? Alright, good game. Alright. So, yeah, I won. Okay. Somebody pointed out, very nice, that clicking game review will actually give me like a game review. I want to click analysis. My opponent was higher rated than me, so that feels good. Yeah, it feels really good. That was a good one, I think. Okay. Oh, sweet. So, yeah, I don't see anything. Oh, okay, this is awesome. Thank you so much, the person who let me know about that. Okay. I might just hit the play button so I can just go through it in real time. Okay. So I didn't get a Vienna Gambit. Actually, you know what? I'll just click through. So Zurevlev counter gambit. Zurevlev count. Zurevlev counter gambit. Zurevlev counter gambit. Never heard of it. It seems fine. It seems like a nice gambit. I'm not sure if my opponent knew this gambit, or if they just kind of came up with it in the moment. But nonetheless, I thought it was pretty good. I don't up here. I would like to play F4. You know, I would like to play the Vienna Gambit. That's what I would like to do. Something like this. But nobody's gonna accept. If they accept, they're gonna be in a world of trouble. Another very common thing is the Meitner-Mises Gambit, which is one of my favorites because it is genuinely just extremely aggressive. I think because look, you're hitting all this. I think they have to play here. Then you play like this, and it is extremely scary for black. The Meitner-Mises Gambit is no joke. Neither player is going to be castling in a line like that. Okay, so we have the Zurevlev counter gambit. I don't know if this is the move. I'm winning that pawn, right? Just knowing, hey, I want the bishop pair. They played a, yeah. So, ooh, it ended up transposing into the Petrov's defense, the 3 knights game, which I've never played before. So, very interesting. So, I don't think knight takes e5 was probably the right call. My opponent had a really good idea. Hit this, remove the defender of this pawn, then you can take back. Very nice, very nice. What I wanted to do in the game is the same thing. I wanted to play Queen e7. But okay. Alright, Queen e2, sorry. My opponent plays Queen e7. And I have some decisions. How am I going to defend this knight and protect e4? I chose this move. I don't think this was a call. I think this was a bad move. Because my opponent had c5. And I should not have just, oh, I'll play it. You know, this move, the more I look at it, the worse it kind of gets. Because I can't actually take it. And I thought I would be able to play here in the game. I can't. Can't actually play that. I'm looking at this position and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I have no idea. I think if my opponent found c5, that would have been really, really horrible for me. Because now I can't even protect my knight. Like I said, I was like, oh, if c5, I can just go here. I can't because of the knight. Ooh, that's scary. That's very scary. Not like I have my bishop here, so I can take that. I don't know. I think I just lose. Yeah, full stop. I think I just lose. Yeah, look, 2.6. That's bad. So this was definitely a blunder. Queen d4 was a blunder. A better move? A better move would have been bishop f. Well, bishop f4. Because then if that, I can just come back. The issue is, and again, I should not have tried to hold on to the pawn. That's my mistake. The issue is something like that. Then probably this. That comes back, and it's a game, I guess. It doesn't really look good for either of us, really. It's slightly better for me. So, y'all, I had a major, major blunder with Queen d4. Unless there's something I'm not saying, I'll check with the engine after the game. But Queen d4, major blunder. Again, I thought I could just go here and defend everything. I'm pretty sure I thought that in the game. But it just doesn't. As soon as I was thinking about c5, I should not have played this. That was kind of hope chess. Well, that was definitely hope chess. Because that was my opponent's best move, and they didn't play it. Fortunately for me. I would have gotten completely crushed. So they played d6. They missed the idea. That's a mess. Come back. Not able to hold on to the pawn. Which is fine. But it's something that I need to be mindful of next time. I need to be very careful about discovered checks. I didn't play something like that. But rather, Queen e3 serves a few purposes, and it develops, breaks this, and also allows me to castle queenside and create a nice battery along the d file. And while I couldn't think of how I could utilize it during the game, it eventually became clear. Wait a second, the pawn's hanging. Castles? Castles? Whoop. Sorry. I keep pressing the wrong thing. That's a cringe move. Queen d4 is very cringe. Okay, so castle queenside. There we go. There's c5. That was the move that would have really kind of saved them earlier. And honestly, probably won them the game, if I'm being completely honest. As long as they played, if they played well, they would have probably won. This was fine. I didn't really want to do that because I wanted my bishop here to hopefully have some great gifts, because the knight isn't on f6. The knight is way over here. I find wherever the knight's not on f6, defending h7, and let's say you have an advanced f-pawn. Let's say it's like, well, I don't know. Let's just not. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. It just helps to have advanced pawns on their king side whenever you're trying to Greek gift, I think. And then queen comes in, knight comes in. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get a Greek gift in one of these videos. Well, I'm sure I will. This is a daily series, so. Okay. Oh, I hate this move. I absolutely hate f5. This is a really bad move. The reason why, they should have just traded. Trading's completely fine. And then look to develop the bishop somewhere. That's natural. Start just creating a battery ram. I probably need to play this at some point. I don't know. This doubled C3 pawn's actually kind of helping me out. Preventing the knight from coming in. So that's nice. So f5 I'm going to say is a blunder. For a few reasons. One, this pawn's hanging. How long has it been hanging? Oh. It's only hanging once I remove the defender. Which is this knight. So f5 major blunder. And no offense to my opponent. My opponent played well. I think that they're a good player. It's just the issue is that you have to remember what's defending d5, d6. Well, my knight and my queen. What happens if I take away that knight? What happens to this pawn? Well, my queen's still defending. Well, yeah, but I have a battery. So that's where the battery really came into play. It only gets worse. Because right now I'm only up a pawn. I'm evaluated as 3.8. Which makes sense because all my pieces are completely dominating. I have a battery. My opponent does have this file. At the same time, you don't want that file if it's gonna open up this. And I have a light squared bishop. So, yeah, bad. This is fine. Just be mindful. Be very mindful about what diagonal that queen is on. It's on the same diagonal as your king. So when I played d3, it's kind of hope chess. But I think it's just I think it's a completely fine move in general. Yeah, I don't lose much evaluation. I don't know what Stockfish is going to evaluate this as. Maybe excellent. Maybe not. Again, I can take this pawn anytime. Anytime I want. Because they try to defend it. Well, you lose your queen. Sorry. My opponent had to do that. My opponent pretty much had to do that. My opponent pretty much had to move the king away. Because then I don't know really where the queen will want to go. Maybe here? But the point is the queen can go. Whereas, because you blundered again, these are moves that don't seem like blunders. Because you are playing in a way, you're playing actual, like, smart ideas. You recognize my knights need to, it's the second time I called rooks knights. You recognize my rooks need connected. And my bishop needs developed. So I can do all of that in one move, which is great. You have to see what your opponent's trying to do as well. Why did I play this? It's not to move my king here. It's not to launch some kind of weird pawn storm over here. Everything's happening on the king side of the board. The reason why I played it is this. Even if you did do this, even if you did play king h8, which you needed to, I still get a tempo. I'm still developing with tempo, which is wonderful and what you want. Oh, by the way, this doesn't work. This loses to checkmate, so never mind. So he would have to play this. So even king h8 is extremely dangerous because this move is actually worse than what actually happened in the game because you just lose. So I don't know if I want to do that. I didn't mean to promote it that much. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, that would be an even worse move. It just hangs mate. Anyway, back to the game. Again, smart idea, you know. Queen's being attacked. Let's pen. Let's go ahead and attack my opponent's queen. Doesn't work. The reason why is because it captures with check. And if this knight wasn't here, I would have for sure taken. Because I'm up +7 in material. What I thought my opponent was going to do, which would have been better, is just take the bishop, tripling my pawns. That is a tactic called Desperado. I'm sure 99% of my viewers know that. And it's a good tactic. It's a tactic that you should definitely be aware of. Desperado is, you know, your piece is lost. There's nothing you can do about it, but it can still be helpful. So you can still trade and, well, damage my pawn structure. Then you can probably do something like this. I mean, it picks up, it drops a pawn still. I don't know, but you see what I'm saying. My opponent should have just Desperado'd the queen. But now even more stuff happens. I'm glad my opponent didn't do this. Oh, no, it doesn't work because... Never mind. Oh, it does work. Never mind. It does work. I'm glad my opponent didn't do this because... No, it doesn't because the rook is a rook and can do that. So, but I mean, this is still amazing for me. This is actually probably even better because now I just traded down into completely winning endgame for the price of one pawn. So, capturing with the king is completely fine. I pin the bishop here. Should have played maybe g4. Or no, sorry. I did the right thing. I should have, after this trade, then I should have played g4. There's nothing my opponent can do to save that bishop. So that's what I should have done. But I see, ooh, free pawn. So I take that instead. My bishops are worth more than pawns, so I shouldn't have just grabbed that. Still, it worked out. My opponent should have broken the pen, probably. Not with that move. Not with that move. Because of this. But maybe just something like that. I don't have a light squared bishop anymore. So that would have broken the pen. And then you could save the bishop. But at the same time, I'm winning by a considerable amount. So practically, it's not that important. More important were the critical moves earlier on, where I blundered. My opponent did not capitalize on it with c5, and I was actually able to pin his queen and win, essentially. Because yeah, I won a pawn, but it was still fair game. So I fork, good idea, but knight can block. So pick an open file. I'm gonna put another attacker. Moves, fine. Check. I only have 2 minutes left, so I'm just trying to play quick. Might as well take the knight with check. Sure, that would have been good. Well, just trying to completely hunt down the king. And I think I did it gracefully. And then that's the blind swine. Alright, not blind swine. That's the dovetail mate. I'm pretty sure. That's why I'm really happy that I know a lot of the names of the mating patterns and stuff. So yeah, good game. I'm really unhappy with one of my moves. Let's see what accuracy. Yeah, I was gonna say 86.9%. I think it's really good. Yeah, I got it right. Queen d4 was a major blunder, and yeah, my opponent blundered once, and then that one miss. Wow, I played at a 1450 rating. That's incredible. My opponent played at a 900 level, so again, around our rating. Issue is, wow, I played. I'm surprised. I disagree with this. I disagree that I played with a 99.2% accuracy in the opening, because I just straight up blundered in the opening. Middle game, 81.8%. I agree with. My opponent played with a 95.7%. I think they probably played. Well, if they didn't have that miss, it would have just crushed me out of the opening. And then the middle game is where things kind of went wrong for my opponent. Which, to be fair, either the end game or the middle game. The middle game has more going on, so that's probably the hardest. But end game is much more technical, and you have to be more accurate. So, in my personal opinion, I think the end game is the hardest part of chess, and the middle game is you're just playing chess. If that makes sense. So, nice move. Zurlev counter game. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm not gonna play it because I never play e5. I play d5, the Scandinavian. But that's a really cool. I'm going to. I have the Chess Opener Pro app that I love. I'm going to put this in my app so that I can learn the line against this whenever I see it. I'm trying to play the Vienna. Completely good move. I wonder what the best move was. Does that work? I mean, I don't think that's good. I mean, it's okay. This is kind of the structure that you want in the Vienna Gambit, but no, Stockfish hates it. So no dice there. F4 would have been bad. Well, no, Stockfish is fine with F4. It's what happens later. But let's just keep it going. Everything's good so far. No problem capturing, just like I was thinking. But I should not have tried to hang on to the pawn. That was a big mistake. See, when you get greedy in chess, you can just straight up lose. It's that Queen d4 blunder I was talking about with the c5 move. And that's the thing. When I was playing it, During the game, I thought that Queen D4 was a blunder because of C5. Just intuition. I should have looked more into what was actually happening before I played Queen D4. So my opponent missed. They needed to play C5. Simply drop my knight back. So again, talking about, greed. I guess Stockfish sees this as a little bit greedy. Because now I'm evaluated as completely winning somehow. Says it's a good move. Queen takes G7. What? What is this line? Oh, G7. Sorry, I thought I was talking about that. No, G7, obviously. Okay, I did kind of look at this move. But nice. Okay, yeah, I could have gone that route, which would have been completely fine. But I didn't. It's fine as well. Castling queenside. Oh, castling before move 10. Need to get in the habit of doing that. Now they play C5, but it's a little bit too late. Again, people know what they kind of should be doing. It's just that sometimes they play them a move late. C5 would have completely crushed me, and I would have lost. Probably. Especially at our level. So, yeah, they do play C5 now. Too late. Just drop back. Blackfish says this is excellent. I'm very curious. Yeah, I identified that was a major blunder. This was a horrible, horrible, horrible move. Even though it looks good, it's just really, really bad for lots of reasons. The A2 through G8 diagonal is completely exposed, which is bad because my opponent's king is on G8. And it just drops this because I removed the defender here. After captures, it looks, oh cool, I'm attacking the queen with tempo. Nope. You're kicking me where I need to go. And then, okay, yeah, B3 is excellent. Stockfish likes B3. I also love this. This is kind of a dual-purpose move. Because when you castle queenside, you have to be extremely careful about this pawn. Or if you're playing black, the other pawn. This one. Because bishop can capture, and while you can trap it, sometimes it's not good. Or worse, queen can capture it. And then, yeah, queen can capture it. Wow, they could have captured pretty soon if I didn't play. Wow, B3 is a dual-purpose move. You know what? I'm starting to figure this out. I'm starting to figure out the psychology of this. I get it. My opponent thinks I played B3 because my opponent was probably trying to be sneaky and take on A2. Like, I'm just going to move over and take on H2 and then check and win my pawn back. And even though I'm being attacked, I can just move back somewhere. That's definitely what they were thinking. They were thinking I can just take A2. I wasn't even thinking of that. I was thinking of my own plan. So that's why when they saw I played B3, they were probably like, crap. They saw that A2 was hanging. I guess I'll go ahead and develop. Well, I wasn't even thinking about that. I had my eyes on the queen. So, psychology in chess, super duper important. I played a super sneaky move without even realizing it was super sneaky. I'm actually pretty. One of my strong suits in chess, I think, is that I'm pretty strong at disguising my intentions behind moves. I can play a move that looks very quiet, like b3, but it actually has some really tricky ideas. Okay, bishop takes c5 is excellent. As we were saying, this is probably the best move, g4. I don't know when Steph is going to evaluate that, but I'm just going to go and say g4 is the best move. Because then, again, he attacks me with tempo after me back. Now he has time to save the bishop. He doesn't. g4 is excellent. Yeah, and I have a mate in 10. There's no way I actually saw the completely right line, is there? Okay, I was gonna say, okay, I didn't find the perfect mate in 10. I would have been very concerned at why I'm my level if I could see intuitively a mate in 10. You know what I mean? Alright, well that wraps up the game. Very interesting game. Queen d4 was completely garbage. Completely trash. I'm never going to make that mistake again. Everything was defended. Pieces, squares, and then the knight falls. So, yeah. Fortunately, chess is a very dynamic game where a lot's going on at once. And sometimes your opponent doesn't see the move. Even if you do. Which I will admit, maybe it's a little bit hard of a move to spot. Things like taking a pawn seems great. And it sets up a nice forward attack. Then that's hanging. Again, I was very cautious about taking it. I'm kind of glad I didn't because I played a really, really nice game. I'm very happy with this game. I think this is as good as the game I played yesterday. And I played e4, so I love me some e4 openings. Whether it's Vienna Gambit or what have you. Or a Grand Prix attack. It doesn't matter. E4 is amazing. D4, with the London system, I like to play against probably higher rated opponents too. Just because it's a strong system, it's a strong setup. Obviously, your opponent's seen it before, but even so, it's hard to capitalize on it. So, anyway, thank you for watching. That was episode 6. Tomorrow, when I release episode 7, that'll be a full week since starting the series. So I'm very excited. I feel like I am already improving, especially with this method of how I'm analyzing and recording. And my emotions are in check, and focus mode's on, and all that fun stuff. So thank you so much for watching. And if you made it this far, in the comments, type in potatoes. So I know. Or you just got lucky and clicked to the end of the video. Alright. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.